Hey guys, good morning. How are you? Hope you all are doing good. आज तो मज़ा आ गया यार, नींद बहुत अच्छी आई. संडे था ना, फुल एंजॉय किया. और सुनाओ. चलो मंदिर चलते हैं, नहा धोके तैयार हो गए हैं, मंदिर चलते हैं. मंदिर में भोलेनाथ के दर्शन करेंगे और फिर दिन की शुरुआत करेंगे. ये लो भोलेनाथ के दर्शन करो. हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव. ओम गणपताय नमः, 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 ओम गणपताय. Hi guys, how are you? Today I am in a very sad mood. I don't know why, but it happens. Any day it happens, not every day. One of the days it happens. So I want to share my thoughts with you. I was reading some content on Google, so I thought I'll share with you. Every now and again I go through times where I feel like it's all too hard. That it would be easier to just throw in towel. Perhaps you feel the same at the times too. In these scenarios, I like to remind you of the people who have come to reach success, who have gone too far to come to reach success. I get inspired by reading stories of entrepreneurs, inventors and leaders and how they overcame the many failures and rejections. So there are some couple of stories for you guys. These people were not born with silver spoon in their mouth. They made it happen. First is Harlan David Sanders. How many of you knows KFC inventor? Who started KFC? Can you believe what age he would be when he started? I'll tell you that later on. If you are one of those people who use the excuse, I am too old, there is no way I can be successful anymore. Think again. It's never too late. It's never too far. A great example of this would be Colonel Sanders. If you are not familiar with who this guy is, he is just a founder of KFC. Colonel Sanders. He is the founder of KFC. Though it was not an instant success, Colonel Harland Sanders started his dream at 65 years old. Guys, he was 65 years old when he started. Can anybody imagine that? Can any one of us imagine? We think we are too old to start. But look at this guy. At 65 he started. How he started? That is again an interesting story. I'll tell you that also. Colonel Sanders turned this the other way round. After getting his first retirement benefits, he used his first social security check amounting to $105 to start a business. $105 to start a business, guys. The start of his journey. Most people would complain after receiving this amount. Not him though. He believed that restaurant owners would love his original fried chicken recipe and he would get small percentage once the sale increases. It was not an easy job. He drove around Kentucky in US. He is from USA. Everybody knows KFC is from USA. Kentucky Fried Chicken. KFC stands for Kentucky Fried Chicken. He drove around Kentucky knocking on every door, sleeping inside the car, and to look formal, he always wore his signature white suit. Even though KFC is very famous now, do you know how many times people ignored his offer and said no? Only 1009 times he was rejected. His idea was rejected. Only 1009 times. So guys,
think before you say you are too old for this, too old to start. So I think this was an interesting story. I found it interesting so I shared with you. Another such personality is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is another such personality. First on the list is Thomas Edison. Have you ever felt discouraged just because you failed maybe once or twice? Did your teacher call you stupid just because you can't answer a simple math problem? Got fired from your job? Well, you are not alone. Sir Thomas Edison is not as intelligent as though he was, as you thought he was. In fact, during his early days, even his teacher told him that he is too dumb to learn anything and there is no hope for him. He even stopped his formal education at the age of 12. Not only that, he also failed more or less 1,000 times with his inventions. Likewise, he even got fired from his first two jobs after leaking acid on his boss' desk. But he did not give up and he did not let those failures drag him down. Instead, he ignored those criticism, and despite being almost penniless, he turned out to be the most successful inventor of his generation, having a great influence from motion pictures cameras to create his light bulb. Come to think of it, if he did give up, you will probably be using candles up to now. He was the one who invented the bulb, guys. Thomas Edison. You must remember him. You should. This is an interesting story about him. One of his famous quote is, "Every wrong attempt discarded is another step forward." Every wrong attempt discarded is another step forward. So, guys, always remember this. One more I'll share with you. One more personality is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. Say, are you a college dropout? Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, did not get his college diploma either, but he did not stop him. But this did not stop him from dreaming big. He even took his great failure and transformed them into his greatest success. At young age of 19, Steve Jobs, together with his friend decided to drop out of Reed College and move to India instead. What is the reason? To find philosophical enlightenment, a stage of Jobs' life where he learned the power of intuition, something that greatly influenced his work. He was a visionary perfectionist that most people think highly of him during his early years. However, at the age of 30, his own company, Apple Incorporation, decided to fire him. Can you imagine the companies you have built from scratch turning his back against you, leaving you humiliated, depressed, and most importantly, unemployed? Well, Steve Jobs tried to overcome that and he succeeded. 11 years after Apple decided to fire him, the company was on the verge of bankruptcy, a time where Microsoft was soaring high. Being the brain behind the Apple Incorporation, the company was desperate and crawled back to the Steve Jobs, asking if he could consider coming back. Basically, he took this offer and made Apple one of the most leading pioneers when it comes to new gadgets and technologies. Guys, these were a few personalities. I thought I was reading about it, so I found it interesting. So I thought I'll share it with you. But the guys, idea behind this is, don't give up. It's never late to start. You can start at any age, any money. Money is not big thing. Money can flow in. Once you have an idea in place, money can flow in. And just your efforts would decide your fate. If you are sincere and honest and passionate about your dream, you can achieve it. Believe you me, guys, we can achieve it. I am starting at this age again. YouTube is again example. I am 49 and I am starting YouTube like a 20 years old guy. So let's see, guys, how it goes. But this was an interesting story to share with you, so I shared it with you, guys. I hope you will like it, and if you like the stories, like the videos, subscribe the channel, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.